Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 BMW M850i. This is the xDrive Gran Coupe. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This model is finished off in Bernina Gray Metallic. MSRP is just shy of $120,000. Now underneath the hood, this is powered by the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 that is paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through that all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,700 pound vehicle from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 18 gallons, and you'll expect to see around 17 miles per gallon in the city, 24 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 119 inches. Its overall length is 200.3. It has a width of 76.1 and a height of 55.4 inches. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice up front that the entire kidney grille is finished off in matte black. There's also the forward-facing camera, gloss black for the rest of the grille, along with that M badge. This is also equipped with LEDs for the lighting, with a really nice design for those housings. And then in the lower section, you'll notice a sensor right in the middle for the distance pacing, and then very large cutouts in all of the gloss black, along with all of these angles, different shapes to give it a sporty front end design. There's also a few lines that come down the hood as well. Now, as we work our way to the side, there's a really nice set of two-tone wheels, along with the black M Sport brakes. You'll notice the trim accent just behind that tire, along with gloss black for the power folding side mirrors. Now, they have a camera and a turn signal, and this also gets carbon fiber for the entire roof, which is a great accent. There's gloss black for all the window trim there, and then really nice lines that run down the side, especially in that lower side skirt. And then as we come around the back, BMW badge is right in the middle. There's also LEDs for all of the lighting, and there's even a little bit different of a gray design for the lower diffuser there. You'll notice two fins, along with the dual exhaust and all of the parking sensors as well. Now, this also has remote start, so simply just triple tap on the lock button and we can bring this to life. And then just triple tap on that button again and you can shut it off as needed. You can also use the button on the key fob or the button up underneath to open up the power trunk. And with that open, you have a good bit of space. Now, there's no storage underneath the floor, but you have a bin over on that right side, and then you can also fold down the back seats. So just pull on those tabs on both sides. That will give you a lot more interior space. There's also some tie downs too, so you can secure any items that you have. And then there's the two buttons up top, so you can close or lock the vehicle as well. Now, if you do lock it, we have the proximity door handles on the back. So you can just grab those, it will unlock, and you are good to go. Now, for this interior, we have the cognac leather along with the black leather. There's also the sunshade up top. You can use the control down below in order to raise and lower that. There's Harman Kardon for the audio, as well as all the brushed accents. And then we have a sunshade for the opposite side, as well as the one on the back glass. And then storage is underneath that. And then as we work our way to the interior, we have more of that coloring, which is a great contrast. And once I hop in at 5'10", I have a good bit of space. Now, there's storage pockets behind both front seats. You'll notice ambient lighting along with brushed aluminum and carbon fiber. And then there's your air vents along with a little bit of storage and auxiliaries. You even get heated rear seats and then all of your climate adjustments in the middle. Now, this is a 5-seater, so if you are in the middle, you'll have to have a leg on both sides there. But other than that, you have a good bit of space. And then when you pull down the armrest, you have storage on the back section along with cup holders in the front. And then you can even close or lower this middle seat as needed. Now, there's that rear sunshade, which is currently up. There's also Alcantara and speakers on the back. The Alcantara works its way to the entire headliner as well. And at 5'10", I have less than a ½ inch of headroom, but I can honestly sit upright and be comfortable. So if you're not any taller than me, you'll be fine sitting in the back of this. And you'll notice too that we have the pillarless doors for both front and rear. Now, up front, there's the addition of the memory seating adjustments, lock and unlock, all the window controls, the trunk release, and more storage. And then we have a little bit more bolster support for these front seats. They are automatic. You do have the leg support as well, which is a manual control. And then once we hop into this, we're greeted with the solid leather steering wheel with all the color stitch, all the brushed aluminum accents. It's also a heated steering wheel too. But let's fire this back up and take a listen to that V8. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster now, you'll see fuel on the left, engine temperature on the right side, and then the rest of the information is fixed, minus a few things you can go through using the turn signal stock there. So just by pushing on the end of it, you can scroll through all of that info within the tach. So you don't have a whole lot to go through, but it's nice that you can at least pull all of that up. Now on the left side, you have all of your cruise, distance pacing, your steering assist, and then on the right side, there's volume tuning, you have Bluetooth and voice commands, and when you push this button in the middle, that is a shortcut to your audio on the head-up display, where it also shows miles per hour and the speed limit sign. And then we have the paddle shifters as well. Now on the left side, there's all the headlight adjustments with one air vent. Leather covers the entire dash. And then right in the middle, we have the infotainment system, where you have all these shortcuts laid out on the left side. So you can quickly get into all of these. When you go into car, you have a lot more to go through, and you can use the rotary dial down below. You can get into your driving information, pull up some of those sport displays there. You have a lot of settings that you can configure and get into, so that way you can adjust all of this as needed. There's also your carrying car, owner's manual, and you can get into Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also have various shortcuts down below, so you can further go through all of this, and you have a few widgets on the home screen that you can configure if you would like to. Now underneath that, there's a shortcut to the intelligent safety, so you can go through all of those features as needed. And then you do have a small screen for the climates. So you have those adjustments in the middle. This also has heated and ventilated seats. You'll notice we have one control for that, so you can pick what you would like that to be set up as, which is really nice to see. And then underneath that, there's volume and tuning, all of your presets. You get wireless charging along with some auxiliaries and cup holders, and then more carbon fiber for that entire tray. Here's all of those shortcuts that I was using for that screen. When we put this into reverse, you have the 360 camera system along with automatic parking and the backup assistance. And then there's also the 360 view. You have gesture control, so you can use that, or you can just touch on the screen itself. Now there's drive, and then you have the option of shifting with this or the paddle shifters. And then to the left, you have traction control, a shortcut for the forward-facing camera, which is helpful. There's your parking sensors, your engine start-stop, and then you have several driving modes. So you have sport mode, which is going to change the exhaust. There's also comfort mode, as well as eco, so you can get into those. And then the last one is adaptive, so the vehicle will set that up for you. There's also auto hold and the e-brake. You have a good bit of storage with some auxiliaries in the armrest, as well as plenty of storage in the glove box. Garage door buttons are up top, and then there's the dome lights as well. No sunroof or anything, but you can get another look at that Alcantara headliner. And then pretty good amount of visibility over both shoulders, so it's pretty easy to see. As we set up now behind the wheel for the M850i, this is a really cool sedan coupe to go with. This is the Gran Coupe, which is basically BMW's version of saying sedan, as it's stretched compared to the coupe. But we have a good blend between luxury, between daily driving, and having some added performance without going up to the competition model, which is going to give you a lot more power, of course. But if we put it into Sport Plus here, you can hear pops in that exhaust. Even some on the upshifts too. That's just really neat to hear. Some of the BMW models for the 25-year model are a little bit on the quiet side. Some have some of the exhaust notes like this. So it's interesting to see what vehicles get that and what don't get that. But regardless, it sounds good, it handles well, paddles are responsive. You really can't go wrong with this model. If you're looking for something that is going to be your daily driver, but at the same time too, pop it into comfort mode, and now we can just drive in stop and go traffic. We can drive in the city and just be a little bit more comfortable, quieter exhaust, a little bit more relaxing. So if you don't want to go up to that M Competition, which is going to give you significantly more power and performance, a little bit more on the raw-ish side, you could still daily that. But if you're just looking for a great, comfortable vehicle that is luxurious and has some power to it, this is a great option to go with. Now, as far as driving it, it's what you would expect from BMW as far as giving you that comfortable and quiet, well-refined ride. You also get a good bit of space. I wouldn't say you have the most practicality with this. It would be neat to see maybe BMW have a rear hatch open for this model versus the traditional trunk, just so you can get some more items in, fold the back seats down, put in some more items, And it's interesting to take up the space for your middle seat passenger back there versus maybe having them in the armrest, so that way you could flip them out of the way and have a little bit more comfort. So it's an interesting design element to see for this, but you could make it work. So let's put it back into sport mode, because those pops don't get old. They're not all that loud, but they definitely provide some excitement to your drive. And even with the weight of this vehicle, it seems to handle well. As we come up to another right turn, you really can't feel that body roll. I mean, that's just going at normal speeds there. And we're still in sport mode, second gear. Here we go. Just a mild acceleration. Paddles are pretty quick even with that acceleration. And you have a lot more to go through, of course, with this. But here's what it's like to be behind the wheel for the M850i. For the 25-year model, there's no changes, hardly. This is still the same as the 2020 model, I believe, is when this generation and style came out. So hopefully, I'm not sure if BMW plans to continue with this model, but if there is a 2026, hopefully we get the curved screen and some newer tech for this. But if that's not for you, I have no complaints with this. I own a 2022 BMW with the same layout, and it's really nice to go through with all the physical buttons and everything. So I can definitely see the appeal of sticking with this layout and this tech. But it's such a nice vehicle to drive. It gives you that luxury focused, I'm gonna call it a sedan. We have even leather, more ambient lighting up top here. So you can get a few different options. It's even right here too, that's neat to see. So you can get a lot of options just depending on how you want to spec this, but it gives you more of that luxury, larger-ish sedan vibe, but you still have something that's easy to drive, easy to park, something to drive every single day. So if it's mainly just you, maybe you have a few other people, it's not all that bad. So you're really getting the performance of this and just that luxury ride and drive. And even when you put it into the normal setting, the shifts are much crisper, and it lets you rev it out just a little bit more when it shifts for you. So it's really neat that you have a few different driving characteristics just to accommodate this to how you're driving for the day. And as far as making a U-turn with this, turning radius is pretty tight. So again, it makes it much more maneuverable in those situations. And that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 BMW M850i Gran Coupe. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.